All right, so here we are. We're trying out the LD Systems U500 microphone. I think it sounds pretty good. No dropouts. I think we're ready for showtime.
What's up, bros? What's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to another product spotlight video. Today we are taking a look at the LD Systems U500 line of microphones and in-ear monitors. I'm really excited to show you guys these products. I've been using them for the last 2 months and they are absolutely awesome. Now, before we dive into these reviews, I do want to mention that we are reviewing the US versions of these products. If you're in a different country, be sure to check which frequencies you're buying. Today we're taking a look at the microphone, which runs on the 470 to 490 megahertz range, and we're also taking a look at the in-ear system, which runs on the 541 and 542 megahertz range. These two models are designed to work best here in the United States. And I'm happy to report, after testing these bad boys out, I have had zero issues. And I would like to add, if you guys are a long-time viewer of my channel, you guys know that I don't mess around when it comes to microphones. There is nothing more embarrassing than having dropouts cut out. Things of that nature really bother me, and it's a sign of a DJ that might not be using professional grade equipment. These are aggressively priced for what you get. They sound incredibly clear, and I've been overall super happy with the performance. Now, let's start things off by taking a look at the U500 wireless microphone system. Alright, so first off, let's start by taking a look at the U500 wireless microphone. First off, I want to point out, a microphone at this price point, we're talking about 450 bucks. I love the fact that they have gone ahead and actually included a carrying case. This is actually a plastic carrying case for you to carry all the microphone components inside. This is something that you won't get anywhere else. So I love the fact that they have gone ahead and included a case. You don't have to go out and buy a separate one. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. So it's pretty straightforward. You have a place for your receiver box, your transmitter, otherwise known as your microphone. You have a little space here for cables and other miscellaneous items. Additionally, you have a place to carry the power, 2 slots for batteries, and of course a slot for the antenna. So first off, can we just take a moment to appreciate how good this microphone looks? It looks very nice, if I do say so myself. It's also got nice weight to it. It definitely feels like a premium product. Now, when it comes to the U500 series, you have an option of either going with a traditional microphone like this one or a body pack. So I have the microphone, and there's a ton of things that you can do. First off is the head. The head is removable, as you guys can see here. I can go ahead and twist this, and you can get different heads with different pickup patterns. So the 4 heads are cardioid, like the one I have here, hypercardioid, cardioid condenser, and hypercardioid condenser. And what that really does is it gives you different pickup patterns. All those heads have a different pickup pattern. So what I have here is just a standard cardioid head for DJs. You know, most of you watching, I'm assuming, are DJs. This is gonna be the best head to go with. This is just a traditional cardioid head. Now, as far as operating the mic, pretty straightforward. You have your on button here, and then you'll see that it turns on. Over here we have an OLED screen. It gives you the group and the channel. Additionally, you can also name your microphones, and your name will actually show up on the screen. I'm going to show you how to do that on the receiver in just a little bit. If we untwist this section here, this is where your batteries go. On the OLED screen on the microphone, you will notice that there is a battery life indicator. So if you notice here, there are 2 buttons, and this is to actually toggle some menu functions inside of your transmitter. So let's go ahead and press the select button, and then you see here we have gain, we have RF power, and RF power is what will actually determine your ultimate battery life. If I go ahead and select the down arrow, you can see that right now I am set for 10. When you're all the way up at 30, that's gonna have this microphone at max power, meaning you can walk a pretty long distance. This gives you a range of up to 100 meters. That's about 320 feet, so that's a very long range. However, when you do that, the microphone will be using more power to push that signal out further. I personally keep mine at 10. I find that's more than enough. These batteries aren't too expensive, and if you're okay swapping them out a little bit more frequent, then you can always have it set to max distance, which is 30. The other setting that I do want to touch on is your gain. So I personally like keeping my gain at 0, and then I'll adjust my volume on my mixer rather than my microphone. If you do feel like you're clipping or you're working with somebody who talks really loud on the microphone, or vice versa, somebody who doesn't talk loud enough, you can bring them down or bring them up accordingly so you don't have to mess with them too much. I deal with weddings, so when I'm doing toast, it's a hit or a miss, and it's something that I have to adjust on the fly, so this is not something that I use often. All right, so now let's take a look at the receiver. 3-button layout on the face of the receiver: power, menu, and volume. On the sides, you will notice screws, and this is for mounting brackets. If you do want to mount these inside of a case, you will need to go out and buy the mounting brackets separately. On the rear of the unit, you have your power input, XLR output, and your antenna input. Now let's go ahead and power on our unit. Simply hold down the button. We get greeted with a welcome sign. And if you recall, I mentioned that you can put the name on your microphone. So the first thing we see on this beautiful OLED screen, let me go ahead and bring it in, is you can see my name. I love that. And I'm going to go ahead and sync it with my microphone. Let's go ahead and go into menu. IR sync is the first thing that you'll see. So we just grab our microphone, turn it on, and then over here you see these little lines. That's where you're going to be lining up these little lines here. So let's go ahead, menu, run IR sync, and wow, that was really fast. I don't know if you guys even caught that. I literally turned it and it sung. So as you guys can see on my microphone, it's now labeled Barr. You can see that the group and the channel are matching the group and the channels here. Now, as far as menu settings, there's not really much to talk about. You can obviously do your search, your scan to make sure that you're running on the best channel and the best group. And the way you search for that, it's pretty straightforward. You push down on the menu button. You search for frequency, auto run right here. It's doing its frequency scan right now. It does take a couple seconds for it to look for the best signal so that you don't have any dropouts. But this is something that I recommend you do at every single wedding, every single event that you do. You can see there, it's pretty much done. And now we can go back. And you can see that it actually did change my group and my channel. So the group and channel were actually from my wedding this past weekend. Now you can see that the best signal here in my house is group 9, channel 7. Now every time that you do that, we do have to resync the microphone, because if you recall, the microphone was on group 6, channel 8. Now we're just going to line up the IR signals once more. Boom. You guys can see we are ready to go. There are some other menu options that you can access here, as you guys can see as I'm scrolling through them. There's a ton of stuff you can do, but not stuff that I personally mess with. So let's just go ahead and press exit. Lastly, you have your volume up and down knob. Now, let's move on to our in-ear system. So this is the U500 IEM. Now, you may be asking, Barr, we're DJs. What do we need an in-ear system for? And well, guys, if you are keeping up with the trends, then you know that live musicians are all the rage now. I can't tell you how often I meet with brides and grooms and they're asking me, hey, do you offer drummers? Hey, do you offer electric violinists? Hey, do you offer sax players? These are things I am constantly running into, and I'll be honest, I haven't gotten as much use of this as I had with the microphone, and that's just because, you know, we're in the middle of slow season. However, come summertime, I'm going to be bringing out this thing quite a bit. I have a ton of weddings booked where they've requested live musicians, and what happens when you book live musicians? Sometimes these live musicians can get a little crazy. They don't always know what we're playing, what we're doing, because they're playing their instruments, you know, especially when you have a drummer. He's like drumming away. He might not even know what you're playing, and it sounds awful. So when I saw that LD system also makes an in-ear monitor system, I said I gotta have this for multiple reasons. So now when I work with drummers, when I work with sax, when I work with violinists, I'm going to be hooking them up with my in-ear system. That way they can actually play along with the music. If you guys have ever worked with live musicians, you know, they get into it, they're drumming away. The sax, it's a horn, it's loud, and they might not always hear what you're doing, and you want them to actually play and complement what you're mixing and what you're putting out to the crowd. You don't want them just freestyling and, you know, going crazy with it. So this is where the in-ear system comes in. It's very similar to the microphone, but I'll give you guys a quick breakdown of everything that you get inside. As you can obviously see, they're from the same line, the U500 line from LD Systems. So they're gonna have a lot of similarities. However, this is an in-ear system versus a microphone. So essentially, this is so you can monitor what you're singing to, or if you're a DJ like me, if you wanna monitor your mix, if you wanna have, you know, a dedicated monitor in your ears, as opposed to having a big speaker, this is the way to go. What you do is essentially you come out of your mixing board, whatever you're playing, and then you send a signal into this transceiver here. So this is a little bit different because this transceives and then this receives. So it's the opposite of the microphone. Let me show you how to put it together and show you a little bit of how it works. Let's go ahead and open it. I would like to mention it does come with a plastic carrying case just like the microphone, and inside we have everything that we need. We have our transmitter here. This is what it looks like. Very similar aesthetic to the other one. Actually, it's the exact same aesthetics with a few changes. You can see here that there is a headphone input so you can monitor what you're sending out. Additionally, on the back, you have XLR inputs. Now, these are combo jacks, so meaning you can go right in with an XLR cable, or you can use a 1/4 inch like you have here. I usually like to take one of my through outputs from my speaker and plug it in right here. Additionally, you have a section for your power and your antenna. This unit only takes one antenna. Keep in mind that this unit is only sending out signal as opposed to receiving signal. And then we have our receiver. You have the antenna here. All you do is screw it on. Boom, boom. And you're pretty much good to go. If I go ahead and open up the unit, all you have to do is just press down on these beveled edges here. Press it down, and you can take it out. There's a ton of redundancy here because they are sister products. So you have your menu / select button and your down button to scroll through the menu selection. On the back, same thing. It takes 2 AA batteries, and you're gonna get about the same battery life. On the top, you have a volume knob. And then additionally, you have a section for your headphones. Before we assemble our system, like I mentioned, we will need headphones. So LD Systems has graciously provided me with their version of in-ear headphones. Let's go ahead and open it up and I'll show you what's inside. Oh wow, this is actually really nice. In here, we have a little carrying case for our in-ear monitors. And then we have our headphones. Man, I'm loving this unboxing experience. So I actually haven't messed with this yet. And this is our headphones. Wow, they feel super premium. Now, additionally, it does come included with different size earbuds. So depending on your ear and your preference on how you like to personally wear these, I personally like having mine super tight so that, you know, there's a nice seal and no outside noise gets inside. Power on a receiver, all we do is just twist the volume knob. Boom. You guys heard a little click. Hear that? Boom, 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 boom. That's probably not good for the unit, but I'm doing it anyways. So you can see there, we have our signal, our group, and our channel. And just like the microphone, you can also rename the systems. Man, I love that. I don't know why I get such a kick out of that. Let's put this off to the side and turn on our receiver. Oh, look, it's already on. Pretty straightforward. We have volume, menu, power, and then our OLED screen. I want to mention too, this screen on all the units, they look super crisp. Even if you look here on the camera, look how great this screen looks. Wow. Go ahead and menu. You have your IR sync, RF settings, audio settings, and then you have the name. Oh, let's go ahead and change the name. Of course, got to go with the Barr. B-A-R-R. Let's go ahead and get blanks. Now I'm all set. Go ahead and resync this. Boom. And there you guys can see it. It's now synced. Now it has my name on it. And that's pretty much it as the in-ear system goes. This is just a cleaner way of working, especially like I mentioned, live musicians are a thing now, guys. So highly recommend that you get yourself a pair of in-ear monitors. So there you guys have it. A look at the U500 microphone system and a look at the U500 IEM, or otherwise known as the in-ear monitor system. One of the questions that I get asked the most here on this channel is, hey Barr, can you recommend a microphone? When I recommend a microphone, I usually recommend one that's like 1,500 bucks, and they go running for the hill. They usually go, hey Barr, my budget is nowhere near that. But I'm happy to report that I finally found something that I can recommend that's not as expensive. At 500 bucks, guys, these systems are a steal for the quality that you're getting. And I gotta be fully transparent with you. The reason why it took me so long to make the review of these units is because honestly, I didn't want to use them. I get super sketched out switching out my microphones. I brought them a couple of times and then last second I bailed. I was like, oh, what if I get a dropout? I am so paranoid with this stuff. Microphones, you know, they're make or break. You know, they can make you look very dumb. They can make you look unprofessional. And that's the reason why I was like hesitant to try them. So I had a small event. I brought them out and I was like, damn, they sound really good. Then I went to a Sweet 16, tried them out at the Sweet 16. No issues whatsoever, no dropouts. It sounded crystal clear. After I did that Sweet 16, I was sold. I said, all right, it's time to bring it up to the big leagues. It's time to do a wedding with them. I brought them out to a wedding, and man, they did not disappoint. Crystal clear, no dropouts. Everything ran absolutely smooth. And then moving on to our in-ear systems. Again, if you're doing high-end weddings, if you're doing big league stuff, you got to get yourself a pair of in-ear monitors. If you're not doing live music like I personally am, you can still use this system as a straight up monitor. This will avoid the cord pulling when you step away from your console and then your cord is like hanging on for dear life. This avoids that because now you can just, you know, put this battery pack on yourself and then you can walk around with your headphones all day long. I know a ton of buddies of mine who have actually gotten ultimate ear in-ear monitors and they use body packs like this, and it's just super professional, super clean. And like I mentioned, you can get in-ear monitors branded. I'm going to leave a link down below where you can get those custom in-ear monitors from Ultimate Ears. Not paid whatsoever, not sponsored whatsoever. I just know they're a great reputable brand and it's what a lot of guys are using. Bros, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you found it informative. I want to send a huge shout out to my good friends over at LD Systems, consistently knocking it out of the park and making excellent products. If you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to leave them down in the comments of this video. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and don't forget to turn on that bell so that you can be notified next time we do another product spotlight video. Signing off, DJ Barr. Stay awesome, bros. Peace.